Hello everyone. Welcome to my presentation. I am dealing with the subject Power Plant Engineering. In that, topics are feed water treatment and heat treatment. The outline of my presentation is necessity of feed water treatment, different impurities found in feed water, effect of impurities, pH and its role in corrosion and scale formation, internal and external water treatment systems, demineralization plants, reverse osmosis process, seawater treatment using reverse osmosis, deaeration, and in heat treatment process, what are the stages of heat treatment and different types of the heat treatment process. What is the necessity of the feed water treatment? For steam power plants, water is one of the most important raw materials. In most of the cases, water used for steam power plants contains impurities which must be treated before its use. All the natural water, even rain, snow, hail, treated municipal supplies contains impurities is one of the form. So different impurities found in feed water treatments are of four types. First one is undissolved and suspended materials, and second one is dissolved salts and minerals, dissolved gases and other materials. In first impurity, undissolved salts and suspended materials contains turbidity and sediments. Turbidity and sediments is the suspended insoluble matter which may be sediments or the coarse particles which settle down in the stationary water. Both are objectionable. And second one is the sodium and potassium. Sodium and potassium are the most dangerous salts which are present in the water. And next one is chlorides, iron, manganese, silica, microbiological growth. Presence of microbiological growth is always undesirable as they produce clogging and troubles. And next one is color. Color is due to the different chemicals added in the impurities. And second one is the dissolved salts and minerals. The hardness of the water is due to the salts of calcium and magnesium as bicarbonates, chlorides, sulfides, etc. are mainly possible for the formation of very hard surface which resist heat. Presence of these salts is also known as hardness. And third one is dissolved gases. There are some of the dissolved gases like carbon dioxide, oxygen, nitrogen, methane and hydrogen sulfide. And other impurities present in the feed water are free mineral acids. The presence of the water is always undesirable as it may result in the chemical reaction with the boiler material causes the minerals. And next one is the oil. And effect of impurities. The impurities may cause the following troubles: scale formation, corrosion, foaming and priming, embrittlement and blowdown. In that, first one is scale formation. Impurities present in the water which may cause scale formation in the boiler drums or header tubes and feed water piping systems. This will reduce the heat transfer and will cause overheating of tubes which may result in blistering and rupturing. The scale formation in the feed water pipe chokes the flow which requires higher pressure to maintain the water flow. Scale is mainly due to the salts of calcium and magnesium. When scales are formed, the tubes must be cleaned with water, or electric powered rotary brushes and cutters may be pushed through the tube drums in the boiler for overhauls. So, if we take the first diagram, when the heat is supplied for the boiler, the water gets heated. So, this is the boiler wall, and there are no losses precipitated in the water. And in the second diagram, if we see that scale is formed, if the scale is formed, the efficiency of the boiler is also reduces. This scale forms due to hard adhering coating on inner walls of the boiler. And second one is the corrosion. Corrosion is the corrosion of metals into oxides or salts. It causes wearing of the boiler metal and produces pits, grooves and cracks on the boiler surface. Corrosion on the inner surface of the boiler tube is mainly caused due to the dissolved oxygen in the boiler feed water. Corrosion in the power plant equipment are allowed to continue corrosion ultimately makes the metal parts fail. The corrosion is caused by the acid or low pH in the addition of dissolved oxygen. Oxygen present is mostly responsible for all the other factors. Oxygen generally enters a closed system through makeup condenser, leakages and pump packings. The carbon dioxide is next to the oxygen, which is responsible for the corrosion. It comes out of bicarbonate on heating and it combines with water to form weak acid as carbonic acid. So carbon dioxide reacts with water to form weak acid like carbonic acid. This acid slowly reacts with iron and other metals to form bicarbonates. The new bicarbonates of the metals formed are decomposed by heat once and more, and carbon dioxide is again repeated and it's liberated. So it is a continuation process. And next one is carryover. Water solids carried over in the stream leaving the boiler drum called as carryover. The carryover is formed due to priming, foaming. Due to the presence of soluble and insoluble salts in water, stream passage is filled with mass of 40 bubbles. This is known as foaming. Due to the rapid stream production, some water droplets are carried along with the stream as it leaves the boiler. This wet stream formation is called as priming. To prevent the foaming and priming, the following precautions should be taken. Valve should not be opened suddenly to the maximum. Water level in the boiler should be at the maximum possible level. The boiler water should not contain oil, soap and other suspended materials. And next one is the caustic embrittlement, caused due to the presence of caustic impurities present in the water. Presence of other concentration of NaO and silicon causes embrittlement. Presence of NaOH makes a metal brittle and the inner cracks along with the seams below the water level. So these are the cracks observed in the metal. NaOH flows into the minute hair cracks of the boiler surface by the capillary action. This can be prevented by adding sodium phosphate or softening agent, addition of organic agents like titanium and lignin, and addition of Na2SO4 to the water reduces the embrittlement. And next one is the pH and its role in corrosion and scales. pH of the water is the logarithmic of reciprocal of hydrogen ion concentration in the water. If the concentration of H plus ion in the water is 10 to the power of minus 7, then the pH of the water will be pH is equal to logarithmic of 1 by 10 to the power of 7, that is equal to 7 at 20 degrees centigrade of temperature. pH varies from 0 to 14 as the sample of water having pH value less than 7 indicates the acidity of the water and more than 7 indicates the alkalinity of the water. As the pH is the logarithmic function, solution having pH of 6, 5 and 4 are respectively 10, 100 and 1000 more organic than the solution having pH value of the 7. The role of pH is the corrosive rate of iron in the absence of the oxygen is proportional to the pH value. At lower pH value, iron will be more soluble. The pH in the water unites with ferrous hydroxide to form ferric hydroxide. The pH value of the feed water should be kept greater than 9.6. Corrosion rate increases due to the presence of dissolved oxygen and carbon dioxide in the water as the concentration of H+ increases with increasing of pH of the water. There are two water treatment methods. First one is internal water treatment method and external water treatment method. In that, first one is internal water treatment method. In this method, dissolved solids are removed in the boiler itself by adding chemicals either to precipitate the impurities so that they can be removed in the form of sludge or to convert impurities into the harmless salts. So various methods of internal treatment methods are sodium carbonate treatment, phosphate treatment, sodium aluminate, colloidal treatment and blowdown system. In that, first one is sodium carbonate. Dissolved solids are removed by adding sodium ash to the boiler water. So impurities like CaSO4 reacts with sodium ash which form insoluble sludge, that is calcium carbide, and Na2SO4. This Na2SO4 reacts with water and heat to form 2 moles of NaOH and water and carbon dioxide. And also the other salts like magnesium MgSO4 reacts with 2 moles of NaOH to form a sludge of magnesium oxide, that is MgOH whole twice plus Na2SO4. And second one is the phosphate treatment. Scale formation avoiding by adding sodium or phosphate. So 3 moles of calcium chloride reacts with 2 moles of Na3PO4 and form Ca3PO4 whole twice, which is a precipitate, and 6 moles of sodium chloride. Monosodium phosphate, which is used for higher alkali boiler water. Disodium phosphate is preferred for moderately alkaline water, and trisodium phosphate is preferred for less alkaline boiler water. And next one is colloidal treatment. It is used in lower pressure boilers to prevent the scale formation by adding organic substance like tannin, starches, lignin and kerosene. Coating of these substances is formed over the scales forming precipitates. It results in the formation of non-sticky and loose deposits similar to the sludge, which can be removed by the blowdown. So after the colloidal treatment, blowdown treatment must be there. So next one is the blowdown treatment. So this is the blowdown treatment. Water entering into the boiler from the condenser and the makeup, which contains some of the dissolved salts. The concentration of these solids goes on increasing when the water is get vaporized. Beyond a certain limit of concentration, these solids may cause foaming and priming. The concentration of these solids can be reduced by drawing off some of the quantity of the boiler water from the bottom of the boiler drum. This is called blowdown, and the discharge water is known as blowdown. The blowdown which may contain the undesirable impurities which concentrate at the bottom of the drum. As a result of the blowdown, the concentration of these impurities inside the boiler drum can be temporarily reduced. Therefore, a boiler has to be periodically blowed down so that the concentration of the impurities can be kept within the permissible of limits. The blowdown is calculated by the formula K is equal to blowdown percentage, that is equal to weight by WF, where W is equal to weight of the water blown down from the boiler in kg per hour. WF is equal to weight of the feed water supplied to the boiler for the steam and blow down in kg per hour. Thank you.